So Brother Enigma yesterday decided with Chris Network to publish another video describing the whole case and what happened and whatnot. And Enigma this time said Jesus gave him a vision of what happened when that court case was happening. Bazalani, I believe this video is a very terrible idea. I believe that. I believe this video is a terrible idea. You've lost the lawsuit, right? If they came out, they explained, we lost the lawsuit, so now the next part is this, the next step is this. Instead, the same Enigma that said people should stop donating then start seeing another vision that says people should donate. But on top of it, but it's okay. He said the money was talking. The money was talking. And I'm like, what is this? Okay, it's fine. We're not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the vision that he had about the case. That there are people that might want to do that content, that are going to do that content. I want to focus on why this video was a terrible idea. In this video, Brother Enigma goes on this entire direction of saying that Pastor Mukuba appeared within the vision as a man, okay, or God put her in his vision as a man. I'm going to talk about problems with that, number one. Number two, I'm going to talk about the problems of what he presents by saying that. First of all, God doesn't change genders of people. God doesn't do that. The moment he said that, I was like, wait a minute. Are you talking about the same God of the Bible? If God is going to say something about someone, he's going to say it. If God is consuming fire, he said that. God is consuming fire. All of a sudden, consuming fire, God, who is the consuming fire, now has to play smart with the law. Has to go around saying, no, it's a man, but it's a woman. The audience. And he said that so many times. I'm saying it so it's a man so that they can decode that it's a woman. Like he said that. But then he expects the lawyers not to understand that. What? Now, that's another thing. Let me present another one. In the very video, he goes on to, you'll remember, I made a video saying, this is why Pastor Mukuba was going to win. Before this case happened, I made a video saying that. I saw people mocking me for that video. Oh, he's here playing like he's an advocate. He's here playing like he's the judge. No, I was telling you how the reasoning in court would work. Enigma comes and uses that same strategy to now switch the gender. Why? Because now they get it. Basalani, these games you keep playing. These games you keep playing. Like I said, this topic is going to disappear one day. You will be held responsible how you conducted yourself in this entire subject. And people are just flip-flopping. The very same thing that I said, they go on to show that now they get it. They now switch the person's gender. No, it's a woman. They even give this man who is the pastor a male name or name, surname, whatever you call it. And then they go on that entire thing. So if we were right previously when we advised, these particular points are the reasons why you are going to lose. You didn't have to challenge it. You challenged it. Now they go back and they use that very same strategy opposite by saying, no, it's a woman. Pasalani, when we talk about the wisdom of God, the wisdom of God would not allow you to do that. You are displaying that there is no wisdom of God in how you function. I'm not saying people are stupid. No. God's wisdom. If you're claiming that God is giving you wisdom to speak, because in the video he says, no, he speaks like a child. No, God would want you to be as wise as be wise as a serpent. That's what he says. That's a verse, by the way, for those ones who are baby Christians who've never read the Bible. It says, be wise in how you conduct yourself. Though you are innocent, but then be as wise. Your wisdom. You have to be wisdom. But anyways, you can claim to be spiritual when as well as the wisdom that you display doesn't claim itself to be spiritual. It's fine. You can continue doing that. You can tell yourself that you are spiritually matured, whereas you are displaying foolishness. It's fine. You can do that. You can play those games, right? You can go on with that. Now, then the next thing that I think I want to present. So there are three things. Okay? There are three things. I'm going to go to the third one. The third one, when they do a case like this, a defamation case, you'll see it with the Jackie Pamotsi case. You'll remember there was a day when the judgment was given that she was found guilty of defamatory statement. Then there was the day of sentencing. So you guys went for the day of court and you were handed a judgment, right? You lost the lawsuit. That tells you there might still be a sentencing, or that date was not given. If you're going back, it's the sentencing when the judge will determine either you're gonna pay, how much you're gonna pay. Okay, because Pastor Mukuma mentioned the cost there, so which means you might have to pay something, whatever that is, unless they're gonna only tell that to their audience and stuff like that. So there was the donations thing that he mentioned. That was the first thing. He said, no, don't donate. But now, all of a sudden, donations are speaking for him. Okay. Wisdom. Like, God's wisdom would tell you, something wrong here. You are not speaking to a spirit that is from heaven. That's the first thing. Number two, that whole thing that they did there with the changing of genders. I mentioned that in the previous video. But then they go to take that strategy to use it as if it disguises anything. While as in the very same video where they explain who does the male figure represent, is the same video where they describe what happens. There are spirits around. Isn't that what took you to court the first time? But now we are back to double down on the very same statements. That's number two. So the very same thing that I mentioned, identifying markers. You go and use the identifying markers again to get yourself in more trouble. Number 3 point. Point number 3, I think it's a very damning one. If they are going to, if this was a day of judge, they assigned judgment to say you've lost the case. There's still a sentencing, right? Oh, unless you were given a warning. If you were given a warning, that's one thing. But it would have said, we would have heard you talking about that in this video. But it's clear, they said don't mention her name, right? Now, if the sentencing is still set for another day, I don't know if they can set a judgment and a sentencing the same day. I know that sometimes they would set a judgment for another day. I don't know if in this case they rendered both on the same day. If the sentencing is still on another day, that would spell havoc because of this video that you guys just did. Why? Because in this video you've shown that you don't care about what the law says. You've shown that you don't care about not talking about. Because now you went to describe, you muted certain parts. The parts where she says the name, you mute those particular portions. This video was not very wise. Like I said, God's wisdom would have told you contrary. But the spirit is setting you for distraction. I'll tell you that right now. Because if they set a date for sentencing, you guys would be the advocates of Pastor Mukuba can go back and say, these people are still talking, Judge. And they're still talking, and this is what they said on this video, right here, right here. So it means that, you know, they don't get it. They don't care what you say. They don't care what judgment you've handed down. And so that can cause the sentencing to be worse. You don't like me, it's fine. But if I'm advising on certain things and you don't listen, when it comes back on you, uzokhalela bani? If the sentencing, like I'm just saying, if the sentencing is ahead, because you appeared now, they handed you the judgment, they said you have been found guilty of defamatory what, right? Unless they were just giving you a warning. If they gave you a warning and you spoke now, what that's going to do is that this can cause Pastor Mukuba to go back and say, no, they haven't stopped. They're still continuing. They've even doubled down, because the descriptions of the vision that he gave when he says that, so remember, first we spoke about the God changing gender thing. We speak about the money part. You know, he tells you to stop the giving, but then all of a sudden they must continue the giving because the money is speaking for you. And then now the sentencing, because this can cause you to be taken back to court. And then when you are taken back to court, the judge is not going to be merciful now. There won't be a warning. Now, Pastor Mukuba, as I mentioned, said with cost. So with cost can imply that you have to pay her legal fees. Not only her legal fees, whatever damages that are incurred and all that kind of stuff. Now, that alone can become worse. They can double that because you've decided to go and double down on the very same thing. Now, this is what I was now Googling. I was looking up, I was trying to find thingy, right? I was trying to find what is known as double jeopardy. In double jeopardy, this is the fourth thing. In double jeopardy, it's where you cannot be judged over the same thing, or you cannot go back to court for the same thing that you've already incurred. If a judgment has been handed over a certain thing, you can't be taken back to court. So I was checking. According to the legal system in South Africa, does double jeopardy apply when it comes to defamation? And this is what I found, is that every single defamatory statement applies differently. And so, yes, double jeopardy does not apply, but that does apply in South Africa. It's there. You can't be judged twice for the same thing. But every defamatory statement applies different. So they can take this and take it back to court for a second one. This video was not wise. You said this thing of dreaming too much. And then we are here warning you. You are busy dreaming spirits. Spirits are telling you what. And we are telling you, brother, destruction ahead. Me, I will not be a person that didn't tell you. The previous time I told you why you would lose the case. You lost the case. I didn't need to wait to see the judgment. I could see it's written all over this thing. You're going to lose this. Right? We said that before it happened. Now here, I am telling you, this decision to upload this video with that whole thing, you know, spirits around surrounding you, no angmazi, because these are the same things that you said back there. And so now you are even affirming those things and doubling down on those things. This is a bad move. But to each and every man his own. You go around dreaming. Don't go around dreaming, my brother. If these things come down on you, they will come down on you. But don't say we didn't warn. It's the Actuality Show, the daily Christian commentary videos. If it's the first time over here to be show, check out the other videos that are down in the pinned comments. I wanted to come here and be very clear. on these particular 4 points. First, he said the spirit, just doesn't want them donating. And then all of a sudden, donate. That's what he was saying when he said their money was praying for him, or their money was speaking for him, whatever. And it was the money of the people. Do you see? This spirit is not eternal. It's not God, basically. Because he doesn't seem to know what's coming. He's not foretelling anything. He's only putting you in trouble. That's number one. That should have been your hint. Number two, this thing of switching genders. God doing that? God. That's number two. Number three, the sentencing and the judgment thing, which I don't know how that would apply, but if it is the case and the sentencing is yet to come, this would put this video, they might actually double it. You guys might get judged even more than you were going to be judged, because you have now doubled down on those statements. Okay? And so these things, guys, it's not a joke. These things are not a joke. But to each and every man his own. We're advising here. You're claiming, oh no, because you guys are wiser, because nani poop. You dream and you dream things and what. And the things that you are dreaming are putting you more in trouble. These 4 points, think about them, because next time we might not be here to advise. Yeah, we'll be quiet, because we sound silly. Have you seen your followers in the comments? We sound silly. We're the ones that sound silly. You guys, you sound decent. You care about God. But it's fine. Y'all keep going on that path. I can't even say I wish you well or anything. I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know. I don't get it. What's the strategy here? What is this? You want to double down and they'll take you back, prof. It's Rick Show. Other episodes done today? Done. Pin comments. And I'm going to see you later.